I'm Naomi Robinson, and today's video is all about my transition from from England to Ghana. So in today's video I'm going to be explaining to you guys how I went about moving, what I had to do before I moved, how I planned, and what I did once I moved. So before I start this video properly, please go and like and subscribe to my channel and share this video. So a lot of people come up to me and ask me, Naomi, how did you move? What did you do? How did you plan to move? Like, did you save? Did you think to send things to Ghana? How did you do it? So this video is just explaining that. So firstly, obviously I knew about a year and so prior to moving, so I was saving already. So I knew I was moving even before I knew I was going to Ghana. So what I did was I made sure I saved. And what I did was I had a kind of a kitty where I'd say, okay, then I can spend say £400 a month, and that's for bills, shopping, my gym membership, my car. And then what I did was I left the rest of it in my bank account and just kept on saving and saving and saving. However, prior to me moving to Ghana, I was in Ghana in 2017, and during that time I opened up a bank account with Fidelity Bank. I know at the moment that you can't just open up a bank account in Ghana unless you're a resident, but I wasn't a resident at that point. So, but I was able to open up a bank account, so that was even better. So what I did was, on a monthly basis when I got paid, I would transfer half my wages or most of it over to my Fidelity bank account, so that was there. I didn't have to think about that money. And on top of that, what I did was I thought about essentials that I need, because in Ghana you got a lot of stuff that you can get here, but you find that a lot of it is a lot more expensive. So what I did was I started buying like kitchen essentials. I'd buy certain foods that I knew I was going to want to eat when I'm in Ghana. So a lot of Caribbean foods like ackee. I bought tins of ackee and stuff like that. And what I'd do was I'd put it into like a barrel. So barrels cost from Birmingham, it was I think £56 per box. So I had 2 boxes and I filled them up with my cake tins because I used to bake, my mixers, my blender, my NutriBullet, just loads of different foods, as well as I'm trying to think what other stuff I was put in there, but it's mainly just food and stuff, food and kitchen appliances that I knew would be expensive in Ghana. And then so I made sure I packed all that away, and I think about a month before I went to Ghana, I sent them over to my friend who lived in Ghana, and he received them and kept them for me until I got to Ghana. So also what I had to do was sell my car. So at that point I had a car, so I sold my car, so that was a bit of extra money that I had that I could put aside. I sold my car. I kind of paid off like my telephone bill, my mobile phone bill that I had here, because obviously we're in contracts in England, we have like a 12 or 24 month contract. So what I did, I paid off that contract, and I just made sure that a lot of ends were tied kind of thing in regards to bills. So once I left, I had I didn't owe any money to anybody. And then what I did was, in regards to clothes, there's a company that I think Tripcase or something, a suitcase company, where you can pack up a load of stuff, a load of your clothes, and send it over. It costs about £150, and they come and collect your suitcase and they send it over via air. So it's air transportation, so it doesn't take that long to get there. So that's what I did. I sent a load of my clothes. So I bought about 3 suitcases with me on the plane, but I sent an extra one over via this company. So I had all the clothes that I needed with me, because I had loads and loads of clothes, but what I did was I packed up a lot of it and I put it into my mum's loft. So I put a lot of my clothes into my mum's loft, and so that was there. So if I ever need to come back to England and stuff, and obviously England's cold, I had a lot of my winter stuff and that up in my mum's loft. So it came to December 2018, and then I moved over. So I flew over to Ghana December 2018, and that was it. I moved. One thing what I did wrong when I went to Ghana is I had a plan in my head. So my plan was that I was going to do my interior design. I'm an interior designer, qualified about 3 years ago. So in my head I thought, okay then, in England I worked as a resident services manager and an operations manager for another company prior to leaving England. So social housing isn't something that's in Ghana, so I knew I couldn't do that. So what I decided was I was going to do my interior design, because obviously there's so many buildings being built in Ghana, apartments and stuff. So that was my plan, go to Ghana and start becoming an interior designer. Nothing went like that. Obviously I've come into a new country, so for me I had to do a lot of networking kind of thing. So I met a lot of people during my time in December. I've done a lot of partying, but I met a lot of people as well. I've done networking. So I started networking with people. I had my cards and stuff, so I was giving out my cards and stuff, but it still wasn't that easy, because going back a step, actually, in September when I went over to Ghana, I went to a lot of different property building companies who said to me, okay, when you come back in December, then we can talk. Obviously I've come back in December. January comes when obviously all the partying's over and it's back to business. So I've gone back to all these companies and stuff, and they say, yeah, we'll take your card, this, that and the other, want to see your CV. Ghana is very much about qualifications. They are qualification driven. In England, obviously, we go a lot on experience. If we can see that you can do the work visually, then we're fine. With Ghana, they want to see qualifications, which is fine. I had the qualifications. But obviously, I'm a new face. I'm from England, stuff like that. So no one really knows me. So there's nobody who can kind of vouch for me, or give them that kind of heads up, say, you know, this girl's good. So, you know, I went round to companies and stuff, and it wasn't easy. I didn't find a job. It was like January passed, still couldn't find a job or any interior design work. So I thought, okay then, let me go to, I've done radio production. So I thought to myself, okay, let me go to one of the local radio stations, because I heard there was a job there, and a friend gave me the link to this radio station. I went there and they asked me to do a strategy for them. So they asked me to do a marketing strategies for them. So this job was going to be like a marketing kind of production kind of role. I did it and they loved it. They loved the work. They loved what I did. They were like, what they could see that I could do. They was really, really amazed. However, in Ghana, instead of saying to you, we offer this salary, they ask you for what you want. So obviously, me coming from the West, and it was like a big company, it's not like a little radio station, it's a big, well, it wasn't even a radio station, it was a production, radio, video, TV production company. So I'm thinking they can offer me what I want. So I gave them a price, never heard back from them. Like, you know, they contacted me, they said that, you know, they really like me, but, you know, they can't offer me what I want. So that ended up going to pot. So after a while, I kind of gave up, and I thought, okay, then I'm going to try and do my own thing. I met a couple of people, you know, and I've done a couple of like, I've done a bit of work for them, but a lot of people in Ghana, they ask you to do things, and they're really slow to get back to you or to pay you kind of thing. So I decided to give the job hunting a break, and then I carried on kind of just enjoying myself. So after December had passed and the partying had finished, me and Naomi Robinson carried on partying. So I'm forgetting that I'm here to live now. So it's a different kind of, it's different. Once you're living in a place, you can't go out partying all the time, especially if you're not earning a wage. So I was going out partying, not every week, but I'd go out partying quite a bit on the weekends, meet up with friends, because obviously I'm in a new country, I ain't got no family there, so obviously I'm trying to keep connections with people, get to know people and stuff like that. But I started to realise my money's going down kind of thing. Another thing is, I got an apartment and I paid up for that apartment up front. It was like £2,000 up front for a 1-bed apartment. And I bought all my new appliances. I got like my cooker, my fridge, I bought everything that I needed, my bed and stuff. But at the same time, I still carried on. Instead of cooking at home every single day, I'm going out to eat with friends again. And it's not cheap. Sometimes you can go out to eat in Ghana and it's like 40 cedis, 25 cedis, and it all adds up. I wasn't driving at the time either, so I was catching an Uber. So every Saturday, me and my friend would meet up at Labadi Beach Hotel. I was living in Ogbaja, which is near Medina, like East Legon region. So from there to Labadi Beach cost me something like 20 odd cedis. So that's there and back. So that's like 50 odd cedis. So I'd go there like twice a week kind of thing. So that in itself coming up to like a couple of hundred cedis a week. And then obviously I'm eating out, enjoying life, living it up. And what I'm realising that my money's going down. So on a couple of occasions I've contacted my dad and let him know that I'm looking for work, but it's not coming through. And my dad would send me some money over, but obviously I couldn't do that all the time. So it came to about April and I still hadn't found a job. I think it was April, May, I didn't find a job still. So I thought, you know what, maybe I need to go back to England and reevaluate, because as well as Ghana being like a beautiful place, it's expensive. And when I say it's expensive, is that if you go to a club, you know, and you're buying drinks, so I don't drink alcohol, but even if you're buying like mocktails and stuff, it's still expensive. So it all adds up, especially if you haven't got an income coming in kind of thing. Same with Ubers. I was catching Uber everywhere. So even if I was going down the road and the Uber was only 10 cedis, say if I was doing that quite often throughout the day. So during the daytime I'd go to VLOG.GHANA Cafe. So VLOG.GHANA Cafe is like a place where a lot of people hang out and do work. So there's one on Boundary Road where I used to live, not far from where I used to live. So from there to from Boundary Road to from my house to Boundary Road where VLOG.GHANA Cafe was, it would cost me about 10 cedis there and 10 cedis there and 10 cedis back. So that in itself was a lot. Then I went to a gym called Pulse Fitness, which is a gym I used to go to, and I think I paid like, I think it was about £35–40 a month for the membership, which in cedis is about, I can't even work it out, you know. That's probably about, I don't know, but I think I paid about 1,000 cedis for 3 months or 700 cedis for 3 months, so it still works out quite a lot, quite a bit. So with all that, eating out, going to catching Ubers, going to the beach and all that stuff, it all adds up, and I more or less finished my money in about 5 months of being there. So what did I do? I caught the first plane back to England, and what I did was, when I come back to England, obviously I had nowhere to live. So I came back to my mum's for a bit, and during the time at my mum's, I decided to look for a job. So I thought, you know what, I'm going back to Ghana. I was planning to go back to Ghana straight away. So I thought, you know, work for a couple of months, because the job that I do, I earn quite good money. So I thought if I go work for a couple of months, I can go back to Ghana. It took me 2 to 3 months before I found the job. So that took me down to about June, end of June. Got myself a job in London after going for about 15 to 20 interviews, that is. Got myself a job in London, and it wasn't a role that I'd usually do. It was an officer role, so it was a bit less money, but obviously at least I had a job. So I was saving again. But then at the same time I was spending, because I wasn't happy. I came back but I wasn't happy, so I was kind of indulging in things to make me happy whilst in England. I was so upset to have to come back. Like, this wasn't in my plan to come back to England. Like, I'd made my big move to Ghana, that was it. I was planning to live in Ghana, that was it. No more seeing England unless I come to see family. But now I felt like I was back in England, like back to the place that I didn't want to be. So I carried on working, and then I got a better job. So once I got that job, I was earning a lot more money. So I came back to Ghana in September, then I went back to Ghana in December for the Christmas period. But at that time I still wasn't thinking logically, because me going to Ghana for them 2 times, I could have been saving that money for when I moved back properly. But I was still I was missing Ghana so much, and I found it hard, like, just to be here, because I don't enjoy being in England, to be honest. And by the end of the year I realised that I wasn't really saving anything still. Like, there was not a lot of money left in my bank account. So I thought, Naomi, you need to get strict with yourself. So obviously the coronavirus hit us, and I've been working for a company and I earn good money. So during this season, this period or season or whatever you want to call it, I've saved a lot of money, saved a lot. So I'm ready to go back to Ghana. But what I'm trying to explain to people is that when you're moving abroad, whether it's Ghana or anywhere, you have to make sure that you're realistic in regards to your goals. So me going to Ghana, I thought that I'm going to go there and be this fabulous interior designer, and I was looking at that to be my main source of income. But what I came back and realised is that it's much more. Like, you can't just go to somewhere like Ghana and just expecting that's it. I want to be an interior designer. I've got no links there. I've got no one who had promised me a job before I even left, and I didn't have a job before I left England. So I'm going there with hope that I'm going to find a job. Like I said, in England it took me 2 to 3 months to find a job when I come back. And that's with all the experience I had. You know, in England I've got like a really good CV. Like I can go to most jobs and I get the role because I've got a really strong CV based for my industry. So me going to Ghana, a place that probably doesn't has as much job prospects as the UK, kind of thing, with no kind of strong work experience in the role in my industry, and going to expect to get a job straight away, I was being unrealistic. So what I did was, when I come back to England, I reevaluated everything. I started to do a lot of research into, you know, jobs that can be done in Ghana, things that people of the diaspora can do in Ghana, to not just to help themselves but to help the economy. So what I did was, I came back in November. I did a personal training course because fitness is something that I'm really into. I've been training for 10 years and I'm into fitness and nutrition. So I've done a course in fitness and nutrition, personal training and herbalism. So I'm a qualified herbalist kind of thing. So that's one thing that I can do. And what I've done is I've set up my website so it's online, so I can earn money from anywhere in the world kind of thing. Secondly, I've set up my eyelash company, which is called Nail Lashes. I haven't started it properly yet and it hasn't been launched, but once I get to Ghana, I'm going to launch it properly kind of thing, because I didn't want to launch it whilst I'm in England, because obviously stock and stuff, I didn't want to carry a lot of stock over, even though I could get it shipped over. But with the corona and stuff and not knowing when to fly, I didn't want to just send it over and just a load of stock being just sitting there. So that's my next venture. My other venture now is obviously agriculture. So I've been, one thing of what I'm trying to get into is agriculture, and I also think it's a good idea for anyone who's in Ghana or anyone planning to move to Ghana. Agriculture is something that is a profitable business, but also something that we need now, and something that can help ourselves and our families. Obviously the world's changing right now, so growing food and stuff is something that is a way for us to live self-sufficient kind of thing. So in Ghana, as you know, it's blessed lands, it's fertile land, so we can grow anything out there. So people, there's a guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he does cassava farming in Ghana. There's people that do cocoa farming. There's so many different types of farming that you can do. So that's what I want to go into. So whilst I've been here, I've been doing research, I've been making contacts, I've been looking at land and stuff like that, because that's the next thing I want to go into. I've been buying whole heaps of seeds that I can kind of start growing once I get into Ghana. And there's just different things that we can do, like, you know, somebody could grow chickens and, you know, sell their chickens, like organic chickens, and sell these chickens to people, or the people who own restaurants or shops and stuff, wholesale. So there's different things that we can do in regards to like agriculture. And also, I can't remember what it's called, to grow animals. It's not horticulture, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, animal farming, well I say animal farming, and farming of animals and agriculture. So that's the next thing I'm looking to go into once I get back to Ghana. So what I've done is I've saved a lot of money, I've put it to a side, and I've kind of just made plans. Obviously, I'm also got another project that I've just started, which I won't talk about too much, but it's to do with affordable housing in Ghana. Because one thing I realised when I went to Ghana is that as much as the rent was quite cheap, because I paid £2,000 for a year, there's a lot of people that live in Ghana who are working class, who work in restaurants, who work in bars, who do even work in banks, and their wages are quite low. So a lot of these people still can't afford to buy their own properties or even rent properties, so they end up staying at home. So what I want to do is bring affordable housing. I've come from affordable housing background. So the company I currently work for, I'm a resident services manager. So I manage people, like I manage a team of people who manage tenancies. So tenancy management, they deal with tenancy management, ASB, you know, repairs and stuff like that. As well as that, I've worked as operations manager in a large housing association. I kind of sat underneath the director. So during that, I learned a lot of technical skills, project management. I managed large kind of new build properties. I've done a lot of surveying work. I've done things from managing of repairs, managing of rents and stuff like that. So I've got a vast experience in housing and projects and the technical aspects of it. So I thought to myself, with my skill set and my knowledge, I could bring that to Ghana. And the main thing is, when I was in Ghana last year, I wrote a business plan for affordable housing, because I've seen it from then that it could be done, but I just didn't know or couldn't think of ways to raise that money. So what I've done is set up a GoFundMe for people to help, because what I'm trying to do is help people who are trying to repatriate back to Africa and people who already live in Ghana who are seeking affordable housing, because it's not cheap. It's not. There's places in Ghana that I've checked up, and like my friend sent me a property the other day that I thought, oh, that's a nice property to rent, and it was like $2,500 a month. That is just way expensive, kind of thing. So I think that somewhere like Ghana needs an affordable housing kind of structure, and that's what I want to try and bring there, kind of thing. So it's for us to go there, well, not even go there, it's for us to plan before we go and make sure that we know and know what we want to do and put different things into play, put different ways of earning into place. So like I said, I've done my personal training, I'm also qualified herbalist, I've got my eyelash brand, and I've got many other things that I'm kind of working on at the moment to bring in the income for myself. So when I go back to Ghana, I won't have to run back to England to work, kind of thing. And the good thing is, people at the moment, during the quarantine and the lockdown, it's made people have to think on their feet. A lot of people have been unable to go out to work during this quarantine, so what they've done is they've come up with online businesses. So this is the time where we can be anywhere in the world and be earning money, kind of thing. That we can be anywhere in the world to and earn money. So like I'm saying, all we need to do is come up with a plan and try and start that plan before we move to another country, whether it's Ghana or somewhere else, and execute that plan once you're there or prior to going there, kind of thing. So that was my downfall. I didn't plan, I didn't execute, I didn't plan enough, and I didn't really have a plan to execute when I got to Ghana. I just thought, okay, then I'm going to jump into an interior design job or something just like that, and it just didn't go like that. So that was that was my transition from England to Ghana. So like I said, just to recap, make sure that you plan before you go, save money, make sure that you tie up any kind of bills that you have. You know, if you're in a tenancy, if you've got a house, make sure you can either sell them things, and you could even bring them over to somewhere like Ghana and sell them. Set up a little store and sell your household stuff if you want to. You can ship them over or whatever. What was the next step? Obviously you move, kind of thing, and just wherever it is that you're going, when you get there, humble yourself. Obviously we still want our kind of, we are creatures we like our creature comforts as human beings. There's certain things that we're used to, and I've grown up being used to certain things in England, but what I've had to do is realise that living in Ghana is totally different. So I've had to kind of let go of some of them comforts and do things a little different. So after a while, when I started to realise that I can't be going out to restaurants and stuff every single day, I used to like go out to the girls that used to live on the same compound as me, and we used to just buy up like some wache, and we used to share the wache. Sorry, my camera just overheated. So what was I saying? So what I learned to do was I made friends with a lot of the girls on my compound, and what we used to do was just go out and buy some wache and eat it together. And I had to learn that, because in England we don't share food like that. We kind of, you go out, you buy your food and you eat it. But what I learned is that, sharing food helped me save money as well, kind of thing. So what we have to do when we come from the West is readjust. Ghana is not England, England is not Ghana. But when you're going back to the motherland, we've got to go and learn to kind of get back some of them old ways of living. We've come to the West and we've taken up their way of living, the Western way, eating out when we can't be bothered to cook, and stuff like that. And what I've learned is, in Ghana, what people would do is they'd make a big pot of food. It could be, say, okra stew or okra soup, and they make a big pot, and that you won't cook no more food until that pot's finished, and then you'll buy more food. In England, we buy food, cook it. If we don't feel like eating that tomorrow, then we'll cook some more food and waste money, and it's a big waste of money. So what I'm saying is, when you go to Ghana, go with a different mindset. Go remember that you're going there to live. You're not going there to party. It's not a 1 or 2 week holiday. You're there for the long haul kind of thing. And if you want to be able to stay there, you've got to ensure that you make sure that your money kind of spreads, because you don't know when you're going to get a job. You don't know when you're going to get a sale from your business. You just don't know. But you don't want to be running back to England or running back to America like I did. So like, and we do want everyone to come back, and I know it's not easy, but what we have to realise is that it all takes time. It takes time, and like Rome wasn't built in a day. So don't let this put you up and say, okay, then I can't go to Ghana until I've saved £50,000. That's unrealistic. Whilst you're living in America or the UK, you're still having to pay for bills, so you'll never get to that point. Or you could get to that point, but it's going to be hard to get to that point where you've saved that much money and then before you've moved. So sometimes you got to just get up and go, and just have a plan, make links kind of thing, and just try. There's nothing wrong with trying. I went out there and tried, and I came back, and I'm going back, but this time round I'm going back stronger, because I've learned a lot of stuff. I've made sure I've re-educated myself. I've made sure I've saved, and I've made sure I'm doing a lot of things different. I know I'm going to do a lot of things different when I go back to Ghana. So that's the end of my video. I thought this video was just to kind of let you know how I went about moving. It's only kind of like a short video of how I went about moving, and also just to let you know that even I went through trials and tribulations. It wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be, or not as I wanted it to be, as it could have been, because obviously I made some mistakes. But when you move, getting up and leaving one country to another, and you're the only person, I didn't have no family, in Ghana, and I only had a limited amount of friends there, so it wasn't as easy for me. But you know, I'm going to keep on pushing until I'm there kind of thing. If you really want it, you will make it kind of thing. And again, if you want any advice from me, I'm here. You can phone me. You can message me on Instagram. That's the Black Travelista. The _ Black Travelista. And on YouTube, just send me a comment or message on YouTube, or you can actually email me, which is all in my details on my YouTube. So that's it for me. That's another video. Don't forget to go like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to do whatever it is that your heart is telling you to do it and follow it through. That's it for me. Bye.